I was 5 months pregnant with my third child, managing in a salon, and closing on my first home. I was excited to begin a new chapter of my life filled with promise and opportunity. March 23rd, 2020 ended up being one of the hardest days of my life. Due to the rapid rising rates of COVID-19 cases, I was no longer able to continue working. It was the first time in my life that I didn't have a job. I grew up on 13th Street right here in Ward 8 and graduated from Anacostia High School. I love where I'm from. Right after graduating high school, I got a job at Foot Locker and SunTrust Bank. But I knew I wanted to be a professional cosmetologist. I went to cosmetology school and got my license in DC and in Maryland. I worked hard to build the life that I had on March 22nd. Even though I was out of work due to the pandemic, I thought it would be temporary. I didn't expect the pandemic would last as long as it did and have such an impact on my life and family. I depleted my savings and tried to stay calm through it all because I was pregnant. March 23rd, 2020 was a reminder that no matter how much you plan and save, unexpected things can happen that can change the trajectory of your life. Though I was fortunate to have had a savings account and supportive family members who were able to help me and here and there in 2020, I found myself starting 2021 as a single mom of 3 with enough funds in my bank account to pay only 1 more month of mortgage. Nothing more. I was accruing debt and dealing with so much stress. After speaking with a fellow mom about my circumstances and financial situation, she recommended I reach out to Martha's Table. I reached out and was connected with Miss Ida Bryant, the home-based family specialist. Miss Ida was able to walk me through the Thrive application process, which allowed me to get direct cash assistance. It was a blessing. I was also able to get groceries, Pampers, educational resources for my children, and other essentials from Martha's Table. Miss Ida, or Auntie Ida, as I call her, was a breath of fresh air. During a dark financial time in my life, she was always available and able to provide resources and guidance I needed at the right time. She saw me, supported me, and was there every step of the way. The Thrive funds were able to help me pay down debt, which included paying off my mortgage, paying off my furniture costs and car payments. I was able to pay my monthly mortgage and put some money away to go back to school. Martha's Table and Thrive not only helped my family financially, but also helped reduce my stress and allow my family to go back to mommy and children mode that was rooted in reconnection, being in a better and loving space, and getting excited about learning. I watched them grow without the financial burden looming over us. Going back to school is important to me. I want to demonstrate to my children that education never stops. We're always learning. I want them to know that if I can do it, they can too. January 25th, 2022, it will be an exciting day for me. I will begin my educational journey to attain an instructor license in cosmetology. As I look back, thank you. As I look back on the last 2 years, I'm proud of how far I've come, and I'm thankful for Martha's Table, Miss Ida, and the supporters who helped me and my family not only make it through, but also thrive during one of the most economically challenging times of our lifetime. Thank you. It brings me so much joy to my heart to know that our city is committed to helping families thrive and supporting organizations like Martha's Table by investing the cash assistance program. We are so lucky to have the leadership of a mayor who is compassionate and driven. I'm excited and honored to introduce the mayor of the city that I love so dearly, the mayor of the District of Columbia, Miss Muriel Bowser.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give Angel a big round of applause. That is indeed why we are here, to talk about real Washingtonians who, like everyone, can have real emergencies, especially during this pandemic. We've seen just how much the city, nonprofits like Martha's Table, can support each other, how we can stand shoulder to shoulder and arm in arm to make sure that everybody is going to get on the other side of this pandemic. I thank you for sharing your story. Martha's Table, of course, is a wonderful provider and advocate for DC families, and we're happy to be here to talk about and to launch today Strong Families, Strong Futures. It's a new program. It is building on and learning from what Martha's Table has learned with Thrive. I want to also acknowledge Councilmember McDuffie, who is here. Give him a big round of applause. He's the council member for Ward 5 and has been very instrumental in championing new income support programs in the city. So thank you, council member, for being here. We know, and I don't have to tell anybody sitting here, and Angel has amplified with her story, that it's expensive to raise a child. It's expensive to have a baby. Raising a newborn is particularly expensive. I see everybody shaking their head up here in the front. Diapers, formula, wipes alone is estimated to be about $300 a month. And when you combine that with everything else, the cost of a newborn can grow to about $30,000 a year. For most people, that's a big chunk of money. And so I've been focused during my time as mayor on figuring out how we can make raising a child in DC more affordable. We, of course, have been focused on child care. We set a goal to add new seats in more places in Washington. We exceeded that goal, but we're still working on it. We have opened child care locations, for example, in more DC public schools, and there's more to come. And we hit that goal early in 2020. We know a lot of our child care providers were hit especially hard during the pandemic. We've worked with locally and with federal dollars to make sure those child care providers survive this pandemic and come out at the other end with more seats and more quality seats. But we know that there is more to do, and that women, particularly mothers, have been hit disproportionately hard by this pandemic. Nationally, there are nearly 1.8 million fewer women in the workforce than in February 2020. Many of these women were forced to leave to choose between work and taking care of their children. And one of the commitments that we've made in the city, and I'm proud of our families, our teachers, our staff, is to get children back to school learning in person, and we've done that. But this program is about reaching families long before school. And to do that, we will be providing 132 new and expectant moms in wards 5, 7, and 8 with $900 a month in cash assistance. A few years ago, we piloted a successful cash assistance program to help families pay rent. That program is called DC Flex, and it's still going on today. This new pilot will specifically support new and expectant moms with over $10,000 over 1 year in unconditioned cash payments. Just to put that in context, the federal tax credit provides $300 a month per child under 6 years old. This is an additional $900 on top of those monthly payments. So these payments will give moms the autonomy and flexibility that they need to provide care for their kids and themselves during this all-important first year of motherhood. Whether that care involves more diapers, more visits to doctors, more food on the table, shoes, games, books, adventures, all of those things can be dealt with this cash assistance. In 4 days, we all know that we celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King and everything that he stood for. And the Strong Family, Strong Futures pilot is built on those commitments. So I want to thank David Lloyd and Kim Ford, who I know is couldn't be here today, and the entire Martha's Table team for spearheading this new pilot. And I'm looking forward to hearing the stories of program participants about this program as well. So with that, I want to introduce Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie, and then we will hear from Jennifer Porter, who is the Director of the Mayor's Office on Women's Policies and Initiatives, and David Lloyd, who is the Deputy Chief of Programs here at Martha's Table. Councilmember McDuffie.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and good morning. Oh, man, I know it's cold, but good morning. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Kenyon McDuffie, as Mayor Bowser mentioned, and I chair the Council's Committee on Business and Economic Development. I want to thank Mayor Bowser and her team, including Jennifer Porter, for moving this initiative forward swiftly. I want to thank Kim Ford and her leadership. I want to thank David Lloyd, who we'll hear from soon, and the whole team at Martha's Table. I also want to thank Angel Hawkins for sharing your very personal story with us. I appreciate you being here and doing that. Martha's Table is a critical partner in so many programs that uplift and invest in the future of district families. Going into fiscal year 2022, the budget last year, my staff and I were determined to fund programs that address the impacts of long-term systemic inequities and make truly transformational investments in underserved communities across our city. And I think we're able to make a down payment on many initiatives that will be needed to combat poverty and racial disparities in the nation's capital. We were able to invest in projects like guaranteed income, and even though we know more is needed, a $1.5 million grant is a strong start. Today, I'm proud to be here to celebrate the launch of the Strong Futures DC Direct Assistance Program, because we know pilots around the country have shown how guaranteed income is a powerful tool to support racial and gender equity. Guaranteed income can help struggling households meet their daily needs, as we've heard, avoid or pay down debt, improve long-term earnings and work opportunities for lower-income workers. Supporting guaranteed income initiatives is an important step in re-examining the way we approach and develop systems that provide stability and support for district households. As Mayor Bowser noted, and again, I want to give her credit for the work that she's been doing to end poverty and to make sure that initiatives and investments in communities that have been underserved for a while. As she noted, we're approaching Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and a national holiday. And as Martin Luther King Jr. observed decades ago, there's nothing new about poverty. What is new, however, is that we have the resources to get rid of it. Our city has the means to end poverty, and today's launch is another step toward achieving that all-important goal. I want to thank you all for having me today. I also want to give a special thanks to Sandra Karpinski, who works on my staff at the committee level, who really worked hard along with stakeholders to craft this and help to make sure this got incorporated into the budget. Thank my colleagues at the council for supporting my efforts here. We want to make sure that the Strong Family, Strong Futures DC Direct Cash Assistance Program continues to be a very strong program to help those in need. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember McDuffie. And now we'll hear from a woman, a new mom herself, who helps us focus across all agencies on how we can invest with budget dollars, but also new programs and initiatives to support women and families in the district. Jennifer Porter.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and thank you to everyone who is here joining us today in this beautiful, beautiful venue, this beautiful view of our city. We are here to celebrate. This is a celebration, and this is a celebration for DC moms, and I can't be more excited about this today. Thank you, Councilmember McDuffie, my council member, for that wonderful introduction, and I'm thinking about our moms across the city who have an additional resource today to celebrate. And so as our outstanding mayor mentioned, a priority of her administration has been for us to center and prioritize women, because we know when we resource and we empower women, we empower our entire community. And today is an example of just what we're doing. As we know, we are in and facing some of the most critical times that any of us have ever faced, and women in particular, we're feeling this, and we're feeling it here too in the district. And as we feel it, I'm grateful that the Mayor's Office on Women's Policy and Initiatives and our entire administration continues to work to ensure that resources, information, and investments that women need to thrive are at the forefront of the work that we do. They are a part of our DC values, and we continue to see opportunities like today to celebrate. As many of you know, the maternal mortality rates here are an area of growth for us, and we see significant numbers underscoring the reasons for the priorities of this administration. And so to see investments that our mayor has made, like making sure that these expensive diapers that the mayor shared are not taxed here in the district, that's a part of our values. Making sure those investments, that menstrual hygiene products for women are not taxed. Those are our values, and those are the investments that make such a difference in our families. The investments like our National Maternal and Infant Health Summit, where we're centering moms and all of the resources across the district that are working to improve maternal health outcomes and the outcomes of our youngest residents to thrive. Those investments are things that we're celebrating, and we're excited to join today by celebrating this pilot. As we come together across the city as partners, community leaders, we know as we continue to center mothers, we continue to see our values thrive. And we know that one of those critical ways is addressing economic equity through programs and investments like this. We continue to work together, and we know that partners like Martha's Table are critical in our success. And I want to take a point of privilege to recognize Kim Ford. We recognized her last year as a Washington Woman of Excellence. She is a power woman, and Shiro and the Mayor's Office on Women is proud of the work that you're doing here to resource and empower our community. Strong families means strong futures, and that strong start is enabled by direct cash transfers like this pilot, enables women and families to have the autonomy that it takes. As new moms, there's such a nuance to learning about a new human being every day, whether it's foods that don't agree with them or babies with sensitive skin who you have to try product after product to figure out what will soothe your baby. I see some moms shaking their heads. That takes investments, right? And it's so important because as moms, we are the experts for our children. And being able to have that support and that autonomy with initiatives like cash transfers allows for moms to make decisions that are important to preserving our culture and preserving that autonomy for moms. So I am proud to join all of us today across the district to celebrate. We're celebrating today. And I want to thank Martha's Table and all of the leadership here for joining us. And I want to continue to charge all of the women across the district to join us, to join our outstanding mayor, and continuing to identify and support policies and initiatives that can help women thrive and help support our families towards the middle class. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Angel, and congratulations. Can we celebrate Angel? Yes, thank you for sharing your story, Shiro. And I want to introduce our next speaker, David Lloyd, the Deputy Chief of Programs here at Martha's Table. He's a DC native and a DC power leader, and I'm proud to turn things over to him. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Director Porter, for that warm welcome and introduction. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this historic occasion. First, I want to thank Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Faucicchio, Councilmember McDuffie, Director Porter, the 1MT team, our partners such as Community of Hope, our families, our neighbors, and Miss Angel Hawkins for kicking us off. I also want to take a moment to thank and acknowledge Martha's Table's President and CEO, Kim R. Ford, who couldn't be with us today due to a well-deserved vacation in a place much warmer than D.C. right now. As stated a few moments ago, my name is David Lloyd, and I humbly serve as our Deputy Chief Program Officer, and I'm proud to lead the economic mobility work at Martha's Table. For more than 40 years, Martha's Table has served with dignity and respect to expand access to healthy foods, community resources, and emergency support in Washington, D.C. To do this, we offer high-quality early education, health and wellness initiatives, and deep family engagement. These efforts are complemented by an intentional focus on advancing families' financial security through both economic stability and mobility programs. These programs include career pathways that offer opportunities to stack industry-recognized credentials, investments in the lives of children through children's savings accounts, entrepreneurship programs that incubate businesses during the most vulnerable seasons, and the continuation of direct cash assistance programs. The prospect of changing the lives of our neighbors through these programs and others is why I, as a native Washingtonian, am proud to be at Martha's Table to experience what it means to put dignity and respect firsthand. Just days after the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in the D.C. area, Martha's Table announced a bold new initiative to provide direct cash assistance to the 137 families enrolled in our education center right here. Knowing that our families will be hit the hardest by economic ripple effects, we provided $1.2 million, that's $9,000, to every family over a 4-month period. It wasn't just putting cash in people's hands. It was extending the dignity and respect they deserve at a time when they needed it most. Our program led to the launch of the Thrive East of the River Partnership, one of the largest cash assistance pilots in the country. Comprised of 4 nonprofit organizations based right here in DC's Ward 8, Martha's Table, Building Bridges Across the River, Bread for the City, and the Far Southeast Family Strengthening Collaborative, along with LISC DC and Urban Institute as the program evaluator. This multi-million-dollar program to date has provided support to over 500 families with over $5,500 each over a 5-month period. It also provides access to healthy groceries, household items, and assistance navigating public and private support programs. At Martha's Table, we believe cash assistance is an efficient, impactful, and transformational way to support family stability during times of extreme vulnerability. One example of the impact cash transfer programs had on DC residents is the life of Rachel Dennis, a parent and now currently a team member right here at Martha's Table. Ms. Dennis noted that as an entrepreneur with no means of financial assistance, it was rough on me as a single mom with 2 children. Martha's Table stepped in and was able to assist me for 5 months with a monthly payment through the Cash Assistance Thrive program. With this help, I was able to purchase inventory for clients to buy online, pay bills, and save for an emergency. Without this help, I would have truly been in financial hardship and not able to provide for my sons. I'm grateful for the organization stepping up and making a difference for my family. Ms. Dennis and Ms. Hawkins' experience, along with the 500-plus families served through Thrive DC, are confirmation that cash assistance programs work when executed with dignity and respect for community members. Not noted here. That is why we know that Mayor Bowser and DMPED's $1.5 million investment in direct cash assistance to advance maternal health and families' economic security will be transformational in providing families living in difficult circumstances with a solid financial foundation during the pivotal first year of their child's life. Unrestricted cash assistance has proven time and time again that it is used to meet financial needs as each family sees fit, including paying outstanding bills, making rent payments, paying for transportation to and from jobs and medical visits, purchasing groceries, and/or funding child care needs. For families in wards 5, 7, and 8, this level of unconditional support is absolutely critical. The first year of a child's life brings a significant financial strain, as those parents in the room know. With this new initiative, 132 mothers and expecting mothers during the perinatal period will receive unrestricted cash assistance from Martha's Table up to the $900 monthly level for an entire year, equaling $10,800 per family. Through this initiative, we expect to see significant long-term advancement in both maternal and child health outcomes in economically vulnerable areas of the District of Columbia. As an organization, we are committed to the development of social and economic mobility in communities that have historically lacked access to opportunities and vital resources. We see the return on investment in the lives of neighbors, such as Ms. Hawkins, who shared her story of how the Thrive Cash Assistance Program supported reduction of stress emotionally and financially by satisfying living expenses and reducing debt. On behalf of Martha's Table, I would like to thank once more Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Farchicchio, the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development, our 1MC team, our families, and our neighbors who make this work possible. Together, we will make a deep and meaningful impact in the lives of children and families in our community and take one step closer to the reality of a city of the Washington where every resident can thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for that explanation of Thrive, and also looking forward to strong families. So with that, we can take a few questions from the press, and then I'll make time for community questions.
Hello, I'm Kyle Swenson with the Washington Post. I was wondering if you could, I have two questions, detail-oriented. One, eligibility for the program.
David, if I could have you come up.
What will be the eligibility, and who will the city be involved in that, or will it be Martha's who does that? And two, cash assistance is really important, but there's an argument that wraparound services are very necessary in terms of building a relationship, providing people with other things like healthcare tips, financial literacy, stuff like that. So will there be like a dedicated caseworker for each family? How will that work? Will there be more than just a check hitting a bank account every month?
Sure. And David, I'm going to have you come up and talk about some program specifics. But let me just say, this is one program out of many programs that the district supports. So our Department of Human Services, of course, has an entire income maintenance function where we support families, and we're also piloting many new initiatives, as I just mentioned, like DC Flex. We, of course, are supporting families with housing assistance as well in many different formats. We have among the most insured population in the nation, and our Medicaid benefits are pretty substantial in supporting families of a wide variety of incomes. So we're very proud of those things. We are, as you heard the council member say, in some money set aside by the DC government, but our nonprofits are also tapping into some philanthropic dollars to support and pilot. And we emphasize pilot because we want to understand the effect of cash assistance, that is unrestricted cash assistance, so that families can take care of their needs. This particular program is also highlights an area of opportunity. I think Jennifer called it a growth area for us, and making sure that women, we focus on women who might become moms, women as they are expecting to become moms, and also the first year of life of our little ones, and making sure that moms can have the additional help for expenses to keep them well is important to us. But in particular, you asked about case management and wraparound services for this program.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that question. First, I'll note that it will be a dedicated family engagement specialist that will be assigned to work with the mothers participating in this program. In addition, Martha's Table will leverage all of its internal resources and external resources with various partners to ensure that there is a holistic approach towards ensuring that services and supports that we provide, as well as those that other entities provide, are available to the mothers participating in this program, which are mothers from wards 5, 7, and 8 who are expecting mothers that fall beneath the federal poverty level. Thank you.
And maybe he wants to stay up there because
Sure,
I kind of follow up on that same line of questioning. And so, again, I think you kind of breezed past it. Could you just what the eligibility is for this? And then more importantly, how do people apply? What is the application process, the dates and the deadlines? When does this actually start putting money out on the street?
Yeah, so as noted in the one-pager which you have available to you, the new and expectant mothers in wards 5, 7, and 8 that have earnings 250% below the federal poverty level. And as noted, this includes mothers who are raising a child 3 months of age or younger and who are pregnant in their second or third trimester. Could you repeat your second question, please?
So how would somebody apply if there's, right?
Very well. So information about how to enroll will be found on the Martha's Table website. Enrollment can be completed through a secure online platform that we'll make available. We are slated to begin enrollment in February of this year.
One last question. This grant and the other grants that you've talked about that you've been handing out, is this taxable income?
We do not determine this as income. This is a cash transfer program, and it's not income.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Any other questions?
I think we're good.
Any community questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So once again, on this paper, it say the program will support mothers who are raising a child 3 months of age or younger. In the email, it clearly say new moms. You still a new mom if your child's 6 months. Because your child 3 months or older, that don't mean that you're not a new mom.
Right.
You're still a new mom.
Right. So you asked me this question before it came up, and I will kind of work with the team to see how the eligibility was determined. Likely it was determined to figure out the benefits that we have available and being able to support as many people as possible.
The program helps your child for the first year that you're a mom. After 3 months, you're not stop being a mom for the first year. You still got more months to go.
I got it. So let's look to see if this program itself doesn't go beyond 3 months, what other programs we have that can be supportive. Yes.
Hi, Tricia Quinn from the DC Primary Care Association.
Hi.
I ran out of my house when I got the press release today to come down
Fantastic.
for this. It's amazing. I just would like to say we are hosting a coalition for expectant and parenting young parents, teen parents, and it would be very interesting and compelling, I think, to have a portion of this really targeted to the youngest parents so we can see how does it play out to give that kind of assistance to a young parent who might be still in high school and working and doing double duty.
Yep.
So just a suggestion that I'd love to work with Jennifer on this and with Martha's Table. So thank you.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. Any other questions?